enough to knock me out, but I'm still holding the throne. You never know till it's over. So pretty it hurts. Just beware of the thorns.
Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to get into why stabbings and I guess fights in general happen in prison. It's mostly going to be about stabbings. Before we do, if you're new, subscribe. Like this video if you like it. Share it. Let other people see it. Because for those who, God forbid, may be going to prison, maybe this can help. Alright, let's get into it. I was asked, well, I get asked a number of times, why do stabbings happen in prison, and I usually answer with same reason shootings and stuff happening on the streets. It could be for a number of reasons. Some of them can be legitimate reasons. Some of them's just nonsense, It's crazy. When I first got to Missouri State Penitentiary, we call it the walls, or if we're in another camp, we may ask somebody, have you been inside? Meaning, have you been at the walls? I first thought that it was just a stabbing spree, I didn't know a lot about the prison system, and I just thought everybody's just fucking stabbing each other for no reason. But in most cases, there's a reason. And I found this out over time. I've seen people stabbed over poker games, stabbed over owing people. If you owe somebody and you tell them you're going to pay them this week or next week, whenever, and they agree to that, then you better have their money. I mean, it's not like maybe in some of the lower camps where somebody lets you slide. And sometimes they will let you slide in the maximum security prisons if they know you, and they know you're good for it. But any other time, they're going to think you're trying to scam them, you're trying to get over on them, and they're either going to fight you or stab you. I remember when they brought a bunch of people from Boonville into the walls. It was, in Boonville they like to fight a lot. It's what they do all day long is fight. And so they get here and they was fighting people, and some of these old heads, they said, we're too old to be fighting these kids. We're just gonna put a piece of steel in them. And I thought maybe it'd be one or two, but it was like it was orchestrated, it was like it was planned, and some of them was dying. I think most of them was airlifted out. Only a couple died, I think. And the rest was sent back to Boonville. And I've always thought that the DOC did this on purpose, brought these kids there. Maybe to teach them a lesson or something, about fighting. I don't think they thought there was going to be a bunch of stabbings. But I think they brought them there hoping that the old heads would teach them a lesson. Well, they taught them a lesson, all right. I've seen guys fighting and stabbing one another over stuff that it seemed like it didn't matter. And maybe to you it didn't, but to them it means something. Like, if I know one guy got beat up real bad because he broke the knob on his celly's TV. He didn't have permission to use that TV. You know, there's some people that, and I was one of them. You know, if I had a cell that didn't have a TV and I wasn't there or I wasn't watching anything, I'd tell them, you know, go ahead and watch what you want. But there's some people that didn't want you touching their stuff, any of their stuff, for whatever reason. And so this guy broke the knob on his Sully's TV, and his Sully just beat the hell out of him and told him he's going to have to buy him another TV. Well, you know, the guy didn't have money like that. You know, it was going to take him a little bit to get the money because, I mean, he didn't have a TV to start with. You know, that's why he was watching that guy's. Like I said, I seen people stabbed over debts, stabbed over snitching, stabbed over what. I think I told this story on here before in another video, but I do know I told it on Quora, where this guy came to prison for raping this woman. Well, they happened to put him in the same prison as they put the brother of the girl he raped, the woman he raped. So this guy was real, you know, popular. The guy whose sister got raped. So a bunch of people orchestrated a big fight at one end of the yard, and I don't know for sure if they was fighting, just acting like they was fighting one another, if they was fighting another group. I think they was fighting another group and actually fighting them. But the whole deal was to draw the guards down there. And when the guards get down there, this guy's at the other end stabbing this guy that raped his sister. And amazingly, I mean, he stabbed him a bunch. But somebody, I thought he had died, but somebody told me he'd lived. And you know, there's even people getting stabbed in the hole. You know, people keister their weapons, or they make one down there. I've never understood keistering a piece, a shank. I never hardly heard the word shank while I was in prison, except maybe towards the end of my, a few years before I got out. We always called them thumpers and pieces, you know. Once in a while you'd hear somebody call them a sticker. But I never understood why somebody would keister one. You know, say you have to use it. What are you going to do? Say, hold up a minute. I got to get it out. I got to get it out of my purse. My prison purse. It doesn't make sense. You know, you usually have two. You have a metal one that you have buried on the yard somewhere. And you have a plastic one you carry around with you. The metal one is the one that's really going you use for serious damage. The plastic one is just, I just had one for self-defense. You never knew. So you have these people taking them to the hole, you know, putting them in their prison purse. Even people walking around on the yard with them, and not just that, you know, other things. And I never could understand it, you know. I've been in a hole before. Somebody come down there, and this is when we had tobacco in the prison, and they get the tobacco out of their prison purse, if you want to call it that, and they start smoking it. And plus they was selling it to other people. And Harv, you want to smoke one? No, I don't. I know you smoke. I don't smoke that. And you know, they always tell me, well, it's clean, you know, it's doubled up, you know, the balloon, they call them bullets. The bullet is doubled up, No chance. No. You know, people down there taking shanks out of their prison purse. What do you need it down there for, you know? I mean, yeah, you might get into it with your celly or whatever, but, you know, it never did make any sense. But, you know, you see people or hear about people getting stabbed over just stupid reasons, you know? I know this one guy, he used to extort impress we call it pressing, impress the lames, or if they happen to be a child molester on the yard, press them out of their canteen. And he would pull these shanks on them. And I told him, do not pull a shank on anybody unless you intend to use it. You don't do that. Well, one day, he comes up to me and he goes, you're right. I said, what do you mean? He said, so I pulled this shank on the guy and told him, because he said he just came back with his canteen. And I told him he needs to go up there and get that canteen and bring it down to me. And he said, I pulled the shank. And I said, what happened? He goes, oh, he was shaking. You could see him shaking visibly. He said, I think he even pissed himself. But he told me he wasn't going to do it. So what happened then? He goes, I told him he was going to do it. And said, he told me, do what you got to do. I'm not doing it. I said, so what'd you do? He said, I came out here. I'm talking to you now. It just happened. I said, you know, you look like do you know what you look like? You look worse than he does now. You let a lame, you know, this lame basically checked you. You did nothing. And he goes, you don't have to say it like that. I said, I'm only telling you this because by tomorrow, this is going to be all over the hill. The whole yard, the whole prison's going to know about it. I said, you can either do something about it, or you could just let people say what they want to say, you know, but I'm telling you this is what's going to happen. He says, light turned off for some reason. Apologize for that. He just walked away, you know, and I don't know if he ever did anything or not, but I do know people were talking about it and laughing about it, making jokes about it, you know, even joking to him about it. But he let this guy do it. I've always told people, you know, shanks are only as a last resort in my book. You know, you don't just pull it for threats, you know, because some people ain't gonna be threatened by that. You got people with life without they don't care. You pull a shank on them, you ain't scaring them. They might try taking it from you, like I did one guy one time. But I got stuck twice in the process of doing that. But that's beside the point. Always, when you go to prison, I hope nobody that's watching this goes to prison. But if you do end up in prison, always remember to respect other people's property. Do not touch their stuff unless they give you permission. And even then, somebody used to tell me, hey, get in my locker, get this. I did not like doing that. No. Because if something comes up missing, you know, it's going to be on you. I would stay away from debts. That can get you in a fight or stabbed, depending on who you piss off. Stay away from gambling. That always ends not in a good way, because you know, you never know who you're playing against. You could be playing against some people that are siding against you to take all your money. But even if you're not, you're going to get in debt one day and not be able to pay it. Stay away from drugs for the same reason. It's where you get you in debt. And try, I know it's not always the case, I can't say do it because I've been to the store man before. Try to stay away from the store man, because if he gets you in enough debt, then you're always going to be in debt to him, because as soon as you pay him, you're getting more stuff from him. There's been times I've had to go to the store man, you know. I've been out coffee or tobacco. Sweets and stuff I can go without. You know, I can go without food for a little bit until my money hits. But that coffee and cigarettes, I had to have a cup of coffee and a cigarette every morning. First thing when I woke up. Very first thing. I usually rolled a few the night before so I wouldn't have to be groggy in the morning trying to roll one, you know, just light it. But stay away from anything that, in Missouri, you don't have to join a gang. It's not like out west. And I'm not saying anything bad about gangs, but I would stay away from them. I mean, there's really no reason to join one. You're not forced to. At least you weren't when I was in there. I mean, there'll be people that may try to get you joined, but they didn't even really try with me. They usually said it in a joking way. Hey, you know, you need to join us, you know. You already talked to us. You already kick it with us. You know. And I did. There was many of them I talked to, you know, and hung around with, you know, but I wasn't like with them all day long, you know. It was just like in the wing at night, or maybe I worked out with one or two of them. And then when I got to a lower level prison, a level 1 at that, there was some people from my hometown, and they was part of a gang that I know the guy who founded it, and it was completely different. He founded it on the principle of helping young people come to prison, you know, that might get pressed or whatever, you know, or outnumbered. And now it's completely off the chain now. You know, I ain't gonna say the name of the gang. There's no reason to. But I will say that I'm friends of the founder. I consider him a friend, and never had no problems with him. But I think even he is having problems with his own gang now. I think he'll tell you that. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. You know, I hope you enjoy the rest of the week. And the weekend's coming up soon, so I hope you enjoy it. And, you know, don't take life for granted. Enjoy your life. Enjoy everything in life. You know, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. And trust me, when I say you can go to prison for anything, you may be a law-abiding citizen, but you never know what may end you up in prison. You may have to defend a family member or something, like I did. So anyway, thank you for watching, and hope you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.